This video will introduce the setup of OSSEC, which is a host-based intrusion detection. It will help us to monitor different indicators of compromise, either through a remote connection or locally on the system itself through integrity checking. OSSEC is going to be on your desktop. There's a particular version, 2.8.3 will work with the operating system. If you download a later version like 2.9.3 or whatever is available at the time of this video is being reviewed, it's not likely that it's going to work. Metasploitable 2 is very outdated, and that's the whole purpose of having a vulnerable system for proof of concept. So you will not be able to use the latest version of OSSEC, but if you use 2.8.3, you should work just fine. So the first thing we need to do is extract it. Once it's extracted, we need to enter the directory. From here, we need to run the install script. Specify that it's English. Press enter. What kind of installation? It is a hybrid. Where do you want to install it? Leave the default installation directory. We don't want to set off SMTP notifications. Integrity check yes. Rootkit check yes. Active response yes. Full drop yes. The full drop is essentially once we have detected a remote connection, we can use the drop action to actually block the activity. Do you want to add particular address to the whitelist? And right now we have the gateway. We would like to add the same IP address we have in our IP tables. Enable remote syslog, sure, why not? And we press enter. So the setup is going to complete, and once the setup is fully complete, what we can do is run through and test that OSSEC has been successfully set up. To do that, we're going to add a user and also attempt a remote SSH connection perhaps. We'll see how we have time for this. Alright, press enter to finish. What's important here is to start OSSEC. var OSSEC bin OSSEC control start. So we need to record that command and to stop it, stop. And there's a config file. Okay, so enter, press enter to continue control installation. We made add as OSSEC agent. Hostname for the server. What is the IP address or hostname for the OSSEC hit server? That's going to be the IP address for our target, which is 10.10.1.10. In your case, the IP address may be different, so make sure you check. Don't just copy blindly from the video tutorial. Check and adapt the context to your own ecosystem. Alright, looks like we are done. So with this in mind, let's go ahead and get OSSEC started. var OSSEC bin OSSEC control, and then we need to do start. Alright, so OSSEC is monitoring. It looks like system check. Alright, so in order to get to the actual log, we're going to tail var OSSEC logs alerts and alerts.log file. Cool. So we got things started here. I'm going to, let's see, change my let's see, I'm not going to be able to connect on SSH and connect an account. Let's see, I can do it directly from the command line here. We're going to execute user add. We're going to call it test. We're going to add it to the group sudo and create directory, and the default shell is going to be bin, and we're going to call it bash, bin bash. All right, so cat etc wt grep test. There you go, the account has been added. So now if we go in and cat grep test, there it is. It's kind of, I did it quick, so what you need to do is review the command that I typed in here. It's on this line here. It says cat etc passwd, it's a pipe grep test. Is going to show me that I created the test account. I just didn't want to display the whole content. I did not space on the screen. The next command is cat var OSSEC /logs alerts.log. Then I have the pipe grep space test. So this is going to only show me entries that contain the keyword test. If you can see here, metasploitable user added, new group test, group ID, and the user account test has been successfully added. It tells me that there's a home directory, home test, that was created with the -m, and the default shell assigned to this account is bin bash. So with these logs, we're actually monitoring in one central location what is happening on the system. So instead of like the 15 different logs, as long as we specify that those are monitored in the OSSEC configuration, we have one place to look in. It helps us with consolidation. If you have SMTP alerts, we can get an email and help us triage that information a lot quicker. I wonder if I can do an SSH connection. Let's see. If I look through, yes, I may be able to do that. I need to change the IP address on my host system. So I think for demonstration purposes, I changed that. And as soon as I do that, we'll demonstrate how we can connect successfully using SSH. Changing the IP address real quick. Getting a DHCP. Great. Okay, so now I can come back to the Kali. Change my IP address. Okay, so now if I SSH using msfadmin at 10.10.1.10, let's see if we come back here and we tail our log, msfadmin, we're connected. Okay, session opened, msfadmin, you see this, accepted password for msfadmin, ssh2, alert, you know, we see these successful. Now, if we said first user logged in, IP address, he gives us the username, tells us all that information. So this is actually from the authentication log, but nevertheless, if this was an attempt, what's going to happen if we brute force it? We will be blocked, and our IP address is going to be automatically added to IP tables. So with this in mind, we have a hosted-based intrusion detection that can help us add additional layer of security.